Hello children, welcome back to yet another video class in English. We can continue the lesson The Fight by Ruskin Bond. Last class we studied about two boys who fight in the beginning regarding the ownership of a pool in the forest. The one boy was Renji, isn't it? And the other one was a stranger boy. And both of them assumed themselves as great fighters, and they started to fight over the ownership of the pool. And the first day after the fight, both of them get exhausted, and after that what they did, they decided to continue their fights the next day. And in this video lesson we will study who wins the fight, whether it is Renji, that means the fighter, or the stranger boy, that means the warrior, who wins. So children, let us look at the second part, first paragraph. When we look here, there are certain new vocabularies there. Solace, that means comfort or consolation. Vividly means in a way that produce powerful feeling, otherwise clear image in the mind. Vividly means very clear image in the mind. And impulse means a sudden, strong and unreflective urge. Scowled, that means to look angrily. And here in this paragraph we study that when Renji reached his home, he looked into the mirror and he understood that he had many cuts, many scratches in his body. Some injuries were there in his body. It became nearly impossible for him to hide that he had been in an uncommon rough fight. His mother commanded him to stay indoors for the remaining part of the day. Despite the instructions, he went out of the house in a very hiding manner, we can tell. In a very secret manner, he went outside the house and he went to the bazaar in the evening. There, he found comfort and consolation while seeing brightly colored lemonade, and it was very hot season. He saw sweet jalebis. As he finished drinking the lemonade, he caught sight of his enemy, the stranger boy, the warrior, coming down the road. He immediately thought he has to run towards the other side and look some way to escape. Secondly, he got an urge to throw the lemonade bottle at his approaching opponent, but he resisted and did not act like that. He just stood there firmly as he stared angrily at his enemy. That boy, the warrior, he also stood there and looked at Renji. And coming to the next paragraph, there it tells that the temperature on the next day was just as high as the previous day. Renji lacked the power and will to fight because he felt very tired. His body was aching and he felt rigid. His body became very rigid because of the previous day's fight. Despite feeling this way, he could not afford to back off for the challenge. If he did not go near the pool that day, it would mean that he had to accept his defeat. So, he decided he has to go and continue the day before fight, or he has to go on with the challenge. Here it tells that he was half hoping that the warrior would have forgotten the challenge, but these hopes were dashed when he saw his opponent sitting stripped to the waist on a rock on the other side of the pool. The warrior was rubbing oil on his body. He saw Renji beneath the sal trees and called a challenge across the waters of the pool. Here it tells that although Renji was on his way to show up for the fight, He was half hoping in his mind that the other boy would have failed to remember about the challenge. But unfortunately, all expectations came destroyed when he saw the other boy sitting there prepared for the fight. He saw Renji underneath the sal trees and challenged him from right across the pool itself. The strange boy shouted from the other side and told Renji to come over to his side and fight. Then the next paragraph it tells that, but Renji could have swum the length of the pool a dozen times without tiring, and here he would show the warrior his superiority. So, slipping out of his waist, he dived straight into the water, cutting through it like a knife, and surfaced with hardly a splash. The warrior's mouth hung open in amazement. "You can dive?" he exclaimed. "It is easy," said Renji, treading water, waiting for further challenge. "Can't you dive?" "No," said the other. "I jump straight in, but if you will tell me how, I will make a dive." Here it tells that Renji could actually swim the length of the pool a multiple times without even getting tired. Thus he thought of showing the warrior his excellence. Renji removed his vest and dived into the pool, cutting through it like a knife. The warrior, that means that stranger boy, was surprised seeing this. He remarked, "You can dive?" And Renji gave the reply that it is quite simple thing. While keeping himself upright in the water by moving his feet, Renji asked the boy if he could not dive. The strange boy replied that he couldn't and used to jump right into the pool. Here, Renji said if he could teach him to how to dive. Renji told him that it was quite easy. Renji only needed to stand on the rock, stretch his arms out, and allow his head to go deep into the water. "Are you trying to empty the pool?" he asked as the warrior came to the surface, spouting like a small whale. Here, spouting means to send out water forcibly. "Are you trying to empty the pool?" "Wasn't it good?" asked the boy, evidently proud of his feast. "Not very good," said Renji. "You should have more practice. See, I will do it again." And pulling himself upon the rock, he executed another perfect dive. The other boy waited for him to come up, but swimming underwater, Renji circled him and came upon him from behind. "How did you do that?" asked the astonished youth. "Can't you swim underwater?" asked Renji. Here, another good conversation going on with Renji and the warrior boy. A strong bond of friendship is happening there. The boy was quite proud of the way he performed his dive. That boy wanted to know what Renji thought about it and asked him if it was good. Here Renji told him that it was not that good and he needed more practice. He told the warrior to observe him doing it again. Then Renji jumped into the water. The strange boy waited for him to come up on the surface, while Renji moved around in a circle in the water. The stranger boy was amazed while Renji performed this action. Renji asked the boy if he did not also know how to swim underwater. The stranger boy replied he couldn't, but he was definitely willing to give it a try. "Will you teach me?" asked his enemy. "If you like, I will teach you." "You must teach me. If you do not teach me, I will beat you." "Will you come here every day and teach me?" "If you like," said Renji. They had pulled themselves out of the water and were sitting side by side on a smooth grey rock. "My name is Suraj," said the warrior. "What's your name?" "It's Renji." "I am strong, am I not?" asked Suraj behind his arm so that a ball of muscle stood up stretching the white of his flesh. "You are strong," said Renji. "You are a real fireman. One day I will be the world's champion wrestler, said Suraj, slapping his thighs, which stood with the impact of his hat. He looked critically at Renji's hard, thin body. You are quite strong yourself, he concealed, but you are too bony. I know, you people do not eat enough. Here, another sort of conversation, a bond of friendship. The other boy asked Renji if he could teach him how to swim. Renji said that he can. The boy told him that Renji must teach him, and if he didn't, he would beat him up. He asked Renji if he would come to the pool daily to teach him. Renji said that he can. If he hadn't, they have to fight. Both of them go out of the water and sat by side of each other. The warrior introduced himself by telling his name that he is Suraj and asked his opponent's name. Renji told that he is Renji. He introduced himself by telling his name. Suraj said that he was very strong and asked Renji if it is like that. Renji also agreed that Suraj is very strong, and Suraj said that his ambition is to be a fireman, that means a wrestler once in future. Suraj put his arm around the younger boy and said, "We are friends now, yes." They looked at each other with honest, unflinching eyes, and in that moment, love and understanding were born. "We are friends," said Renji. The birds had settled again in their branches, and the pool was quiet and limpid in the shade of the sal trees. "It is our pool," said Suraj. "Nobody else can come here without our permission. Who would dare?" "Who would dare?" said Renji, smiling with the knowledge that he had won the day. Here, one new word is there. Unflinching means without blinking, they are looking straight at each other. And another limpid means very clear, telling about the water there. Here, Suraj put his arm around Renji and asked him if they were friends now. They looked into each other's eyes with complete honesty and without even blinking their eyes. At that particular moment, love and understanding emerged between Suraj and Renji. Renji replied that they are friends now. But that time, birds that were scared away had come back to the branches and they started to rest there. The pool seemed to be still and clear under the shade of the sal trees. Suraj exclaimed that from now onwards it was their pool. So, children, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. The fight which occurred regarding the ownership of the pool ended up in a way that both became very close friends and both of them had the equal right over the pool, and they have decided it is their pool and they will not allow anyone else to come there without their permission. Next class we can meet again with one another lesson. Thank you all.